Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and welcome to Livestream. I have bamboozled you. I have confused you. The title is actually for... Oh, geez. I gotta write this in the comments now because... And it's not even gonna let me do it. Shoot. Okay. Well, anyways, I need you guys to YouTube CBC Finding Simon. There's a video up there that I made for CBC. For those of you who aren't Canadian, CBC is our biggest, like our national news. And if you're watching this in archives, I'll just put at the top of the description. You can click that link. Because YouTube is hella broken right now, I couldn't make a cover image and I couldn't upload or even change the description. So kind of a real mess. But that's YouTube for you. It was a cool process working for CBC. I, like a lot of other Canadians, grew up watching CBC as a kid. And, for my parents' generation, CBC has a lot of pull. And it is just kind of cool to have like uncles, aunts, and pretty much everybody here on Gabriola talk to me about seeing me on CBC. It was on TV. And of course, I got interviewed on the radio for CBC Vancouver and CBC Victoria, which was pretty neat. So, yeah, I don't know, just like a cool experience, and maybe something cool will come of it. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted you guys to check that out. And otherwise, I'm going to do like a general live stream stuff, give you guys some updates as to other stuff that's been going on in my life here that's not directly associated with the title of this live stream. And what is that? Okay, what have I been up to? Well, we've got loads of videos on the works right now. I've got like 2.5 finished that I'm just editing now to upload to you guys. We have a refit I've started of Champ. We've got her in the shop. We're just taking her apart, repairing the decks, repairing and adding hatches, and converting her over to solar electric and over from a Mark 1 to a Mark 2. So that means we're giving her a bowsprit, an asymmetrical spinnaker, more sail area. We're resewing her trampoline, adding some more features there. We are also putting in the 1 horsepower trolling motor from Newport Vessels, and we're adding some solar and some lithium batteries. So pretty exciting there. She should be a lot more fun this summer to cruise around on, and to especially when there's no wind, we can motor that little electric rig, which can be really rad. And yeah, and she'll have more sail area, more power. And of course, I'm also looking at adding those cool, I don't know if you guys saw the last video I made with Champ where I sailed the Southern Gulf. There was another boat called Cheese that I'm kind of modeling her after, and Cheese is a Mark II with some cool... That project's coming. I've got a vehicle project coming up where I purchased a new minivan and tried to purchase a truck and all this other stuff. Kind of cool. And that is just to help me fund kind of part of the project coming up. Maybe. We'll see. I still own the van right now, so I haven't sold it. I'm kind of keeping it around for a little bit. We'll see what happens. And then otherwise, done a lot of work on the workshop here. We've updated her to storage situation, labeling across all of the organization stuff. Just, I'm probably not going to make a video about that, but I will show it eventually. We're 99% done down there. As for the mass, we've got fabrication is done for the mounting, so I've got to do a little bit more welding there, but it's just all fitted. We've got compression posts going in, so I just got to go over, make one more run over to Metal Supermarket to pick up a little more stainless, and then that's done, so we'll be able to mount and bolt that down. I recently just brought one of the masts over down to Precision Sales in Sydney. We're doing a bunch of sponsored episodes with Precision Sales coming up. So that'll be a big, I'm kind of like busting the, showing that up. Spoilers ahead, kind of thing. But yeah, we're doing some work with Precision Sales. They're custom designing the sails for this boat. It's gonna be really rad. I will still be stitching them together myself, but yeah, just really excited to work with them. Got the chance to sit down and talk with all of them down this last weekend. So just still trying to like wrap my head around that whole part of the project. It's going to be really cool. And yeah, so that's basically what's been going on right now. CBC, precision sales, new minivan. I've also another update. I got hired. Another job I've been doing for free around here is rescuing boats, and now I'm getting paid to do that. So Ceto has hired me just recently, and I'm getting my SVOP and the Med A3 and the radio courses and the first aid courses I need to start commercially driving around a Ceto boat. So I'll have my own little Ceto boat. I'll do a video on that eventually, I guess. I'm talking to the owner and operator about integrating like what I am what we can like allow me to show you guys on social media, because of course doing stuff commercially and then doing stuff with YouTube, kind of got to pick and choose what what is like safe to kind of bring a camera out and do, because of course I'm like captaining a small vessel on a commercial basis, so it will be cool. It'll be really cool to show you guys that, but it'll also be, you know, there's some burn through all my, you stupid. It's telling me I'm burning through my data and I'm actually on Wi-Fi, so that's really irritating. All right, I'm going to start answering a few questions if you guys got it. If not, then please go check out CBC Finding Simon. Just go check that out. Look at that video. It's pretty cool. It's like 4 minutes and 4.5 minutes long, and it basically is trying to bring a lot of people up to speed as to how this whole project has gone. Not necessarily every single detail, because of course it's only 4.5 minutes long, but generally the story of what it's been so far. And otherwise, if you've got questions, then I will answer some questions. And, you know, some of you have been noticing, of course, here we got Jay Howarth noticing that I am on the satellite internet on Starlink right now. So if I have these little, the quality will be really good, my connection is really good, and then suddenly it'll cut and I'll have like a 1.5 second delay and then it'll restart again. That is stereotypically what Starlink looks like right now. Really high speeds, and then the nature of the beast right, because it has a moving satellite dish that has to adjust to satellites moving overhead. It's just what we're stuck with. Oh yeah, Jack is saying, oh, here we go, we got lots of cool. Jack's back in here, Olay's in here. That was rad. Good to see you guys. Life is Like Sailing is asking me about the peppercorn sauce that he left with me here. Here, hold on, I'll show you guys. Where is it? Honey, you're in the way. Oh. Here we go. Life is Like Sailing gave me some of this. He left it with Vern when he was coming through. And you guys should also check out his YouTube channel if you want to see what it's like cruising these particular waters, because he's down here a lot. I've been using this on a lot of stuff. Chicken dishes especially. Really enjoy the Southwest from the Northwest. What I need, man, is I need you to come by and actually hang out with us. Like, you know, chill over here. And it's, you know, Vern's cool and everything, but I actually want to meet you. Jay Marshall wants to know how Vern is. Vern is doing pretty good. He's working on his boat. I keep pushing him to get his boat mobile, as I should be getting my boat mobile, so that we can start cruising around here, because his boat is a lot more complete than mine. But, you know, it's Vern. He likes to like pick a project and just slowly work at it. And I'm a little bit more scatterbrained. So, yeah, I don't know. Both of us should be getting mobile at the same time, roughly. And it'll be exciting to at least be able to motor places together. I hope the plan right now, tentatively, is to try and get sales on the boat sometime this summer. That's not a hard line, but that is a goal. So we'll definitely be like motoring in May, you know, seeing how that works out, and then hopefully maybe sales up by the end of this summer. We'll see. All right. We got some other questions. Are you planning to sail the catamaran into the USA, Piglet Sound, Columbia River? Brett, I can definitely tell you that sailing down to Seattle is 100% on the docket. Like, we're definitely going to do that. I can guarantee that one. But what the boat is actually capable of, I mean, beyond that, we don't know yet. So I don't want to promise something that I just not 100% sure how it's going to pan out. She could be a world cruising boat. I mean, this solar rig could be the open a whole bunch of sailing that like people just don't do, which is those calm sunny days. She could be a doldrum queen. I don't know. But for now, I'm setting my bar real low. Just Southern Gulf Islands. Just start hopping island to island, exploring loads of culture, loads of cool stuff to see here. Get up into Desolation Sound, loads to see over there. The Georgia Strait. There's just lots to see. So, you know, if I could do the Georgia Strait, then I can get all the way down to Seattle, no problem. So I could definitely cross the border with this thing. Relatively nomadic states that he's been here since van life. He's an old schooler. That's good to know, man. It's good to know. I thought, you know, like when I got into this project, I really felt like I would lose pretty much everyone who was hardcore van life because y'all are gutter punks and you're into it, into that van life. But, you know, the longer I've been in this project, the more I realize that van life and boat life are like you two communities are like real crossover there. Jack says Sunny is there to say hello as well. Jack, it's good to hear you, man. It's good to see you. Good to have you here. All right, Relatively Nomadic wants to know how much money I've invested in the boat build. So if y'all remember, before I started the project, I basically had about $20,000. I spent $5 on the boat. I spent less than $5 on the solar, and then with the solar and the batteries and the inverter I bought, it was basically another 10 there, right? And then I spent the other $5 just on materials, and then over the last 4 years, I've probably nearly doubled that just in nickeling, diming, little tiny things here and there, and just the cost of living maybe. Considering some of that technology, I spent a bunch of money and then like threw it in the garbage essentially because there were certain things that just got tossed. Like that $2,500 inverter, I wasn't able to resell it. Like that's just garbage, which is really unfortunate. So there's a little bit of loss there. I wouldn't say it was like if you wanted to get exactly to where I am right now, it would cost you $40,000. No, that's not true. But yeah, safe to say 35,000 invested so far, maybe, which is a fair bit of money. You know, all things considered, that's a lot of money. But I've learned a lot in that time too. So part of that is just me learning and spending the time. So if I had all my knowledge I get to keep in another $35,000, I would just like spend it on maybe a smaller multi-hull and just dive into it. And I'd probably do it a lot more efficient. Probably be at it a little bit quicker today. It's hard to like stomach that a little bit. But then I remember 4 years of living expenses. I mean, people spend way more than that just on their apartments in 4 years. So not that big of a deal, I guess. Werbna Wright wants me to change my name to Oceanic Ocean to meet up with Foresty Forest. I do watch Foresty Forest. I've seen a fair bit of their stuff, so I like that. It's a good name, Oceanic Ocean. I don't know, Oceanic Ocean Face. Dave wants to know whatever happened to a day of sanding is a day of sailing, and you're right. That is still the policy. Everyone who has ever helped here on the boat is crew for life. They can come out here and enjoy some time on the boat once we are out cruising, which, once the boat is moving, is in May, basically. We'll see. I'm sure there will still be plenty of days of boat work in there. It's not like I'm just going to convert my life into nothing but you know, cocktails and beaches and bikinis and all that sort of stuff, although that'd be nice. there'll still be some boat work and some cool stuff going on there. It's not like the boat will be done, but yeah, day of sanding is a day of cruising. Anyone who's ever helped on the boat project is crew, so y'all can come out anytime. Brett Witzel wants to know if I've caught any halibut yet, and no. Although people have caught halibut in this area, it's exceedingly rare. This used to be halibut fishing grounds, but it's been fished clean in the last 100 years. So there around here, there's plenty of sole and flounder, little tiny bottom fish, but no real habitat for halibut. I don't even know if it's open for halibut around here. I'm pretty sure it is, and I know of people catching halibut in this area, but I have no hopes really of pulling a halibut up, especially because I'm not really set up for it. The largest I'm set up for is really like lingcod. We get some pretty big lingcod around here. We pulled up a 28-pound lingcod a couple of years ago, which was pretty impressive. And of course, we pull up some great big Chinook salmon as well. So that's kind of like the two big fish that we'll catch right here. But once I start cruising and going a bit further, then yeah, halibut might be on the point. Those on the west coast of Vancouver Island, or those out in down in Victoria who can head out further into the open Pacific, they have halibut out there in much more plentiful numbers. So much more likely to catch halibut out there. Also north, of course, Haida and stuff like that. How do you play Skyrim on the boat? Yes, Ash wants to know. I have this well, actually, hold on, because I'm streaming on my phone. This is my laptop. That is the pinnacle of computing here on the boat. So if I want to play Skyrim, I'll play it on this laptop. Right now, I have just been getting into the newest, what do you call it? Witcher game, which has been fun. I'm still kind of like working out the tweaks for my laptop. I've got a little Xbox gaming controller, and hopefully soon I'll show you guys a setup where I have it connected to the television, have the laptop down in the workshop, heating and in the cooler space of the workshop, which is generally a little bit cooler than up here. And I can just connect to it with my little Xbox controller and enjoy video games on the big TV like I was playing on a console, but through my laptop. That's basically it. Yeah. And let's see. I think that's all I'm getting right now for questions. If you guys got any more questions, please let them rip down here, because I think I've answered everything already, and we're about 18 minutes into this live stream. And I don't know what else I could really tell you guys. Oh, I could give you guys some more updates as to the electric outboard project. So right now I'm kind of like, I'll use the electric outboard for a couple of days, and then I'll get more parts coming in the mail, and so I'll go and install them. And then in the meantime, like right now, I have the gas part on, and because I just installed this major on-off switch on the outboard. I'm still waiting on new BMS modules for the big batteries. And what was the other bit? Oh yeah, I wanted a voltage sensor, like control screen, so that I can see how much power is still on the battery pack. And I was thinking of putting it on the outboard itself, or putting it down below on the actual battery pack I'm installing in the front of the boat on like a portable case, so that I can roll it off and then use the 48-volt pack as like a booster pack for this boat, so that if I take the outboard off, take everything off, have the whole Zodiac or dinghy on the back of the boat, then I can roll its battery pack into this boat and use it to add to my main battery pack kind of thing. And it'd be kind of nice to have like a little control screen on there, I think. I'm still trying to like plan that out. Because then there's the other thing is it'd be kind of nice to have that pack have its own solar cell too. And then, I don't know, I don't want to put too many holes into my waterproof case for my batteries in the Zodiac. Do you know what I mean? Still trying to figure this out. Life is Like Sailing wants to know a splash date for Champ. Right now, Champ is held up by only really one major thing, and that is two major things, I should say. 2 hatches that are supposed to go into her have been delayed in shipping. So what was originally going to be 1 episode is now going to be split into 2, just because it's taking too long for those hatches to come in. So once they come in, then I should have the solar charge controller in by then, and I'll be able to have the whole solar power system sorted out. The first episode is basically just me fixing the fiberglass, adding the hatches, taking the boat apart, all that stuff. And yeah, just the last little bit will be like stitching and putting the boat back together, putting the electric drive together, and that'll be it. So the second half should be much more rewarding to watch. The first half is just the work, basically. I've been fiberglassing all week is what I'm trying to say. Put Birdie wants to know, what size battery do you think would work best for your small electric outboard? I'm planning, because I have so many of these LiPo cells or lithium ion cells, I still have at least like 4 separate batteries worth of, or 2 separate batteries, 4 separate parallel rigs of those cells left over. So I was hooking them up to a BMS module, putting them into a big Pelican case. So that's the goal, because that Pelican case kind of fits nicely as a bench in the middle of the boat in the Zodiac. So I was going to get another solar cell maybe to glue on top of it that would always just sit there and keep those cells charging up, and then have them inside of a waterproof case sealed up with a solar charge controller with all the modules that it needs and the BMS module, big huge cables routing back to the outboard. So basically it's quite a bit larger than the original gas tank, but it should give me about 40 minutes of full tilt, which is quite a lot. Should be enough to get to like other islands and stuff. Basically all the motoring you're going to be doing on a little Zodiac like that, with very few exceptions. So there are some times where you want more range, but of course planing and trolling are 2 different things. So I've got the power to basically plane when I need it, and then if I want to go much further, then I can just troll the motor and cruise around at like 5 knots instead. And at 5 knots, you know, it's got quite a bit more range. I'd have to do tests to know exactly how far, because resistance in the water, I don't know. Like, I really just don't know what it's going to take. Wellburn can't believe how much knowledge I've acquired. You know, I wish I have the boat to look at as a visual representation of everything I've accomplished, and I have all these videos to look at. But like, I wish there was like a way to be like, oh, these are the stats of like the things you've learned, because it's kind of abstract, and there's days where I feel like, man, I'm like so much smarter than I was when I was starting this project, and there are other days where I just still feel like a damn moron. So I don't know. It would be nice to be able to have that like self-confidence to be like, oh yeah, I have learned a lot all the time, and just have that in my back pocket, you know, to be like, yeah, I'm not an idiot. But some days you just stub your toe and walk into a door frame and forget your keys on board, and you think, wow, I am an idiot. I'm just an idiot. And I guess that's important. Be humble a little bit. What do you want? You want to come up and say hi to everybody? You come here? You're moaning at me, making your grunting noises. Okay. Hi, everybody. Honey's here. She's doing great. She had a good day. Worked at the food bank today. And what'd you do? You wrestled with a puppy, right? You remember that? You wrestled with a puppy, and you made barking noises when Angela came in, because you always bark at Angela for whatever reason. Sorry, Angela. All right. Yeah. Again, for those of you just tuning in, the title of this video is about my CBC video that I just did. So that's 4.5 minutes long. Please go check it out. Just YouTube search Finding Simon, CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation or whatever. It's our like national, you know, national news thing. But I got to do some cool features with them, radio interviews, and then this stuff on the YouTube. That video actually also was actually broadcast on TV, which is cool. It means that I am officially. I mean, I did live TV stuff before, but it's cool because it's like the I don't know, my mom type of people. My mom's a very big consumer of CBC, and so are my like aunts and uncles. And yeah, it's just kind of funny. Is like, and most of the people here on Gabriola, I just keep getting people coming up and be like, "Hey, you're a big celebrity now." And I'm like, "Okay, I made like a little video for CBC. It's got like 10,000 views. Like, I've had a YouTube channel for like 7 years, and I have like thousands of people watching that." And they're like, "Yeah, we don't care about that. But you were on CBC, so that's a big deal." Aye, that's a big deal. I don't know. I was on like CTV News on live CTV News one morning. I was front page news on the Ottawa Sun and all the Sun network across the country once for van life stuff. So I've done like the traditional media stuff in the past, and I've been interviewed. I got interviewed by Daily Mail before I even knew that Daily Mail UK is like this like total trash tabloid. I had no idea back then, and they did an interview with me, and then they like threw out all the questions that the intern interviewed me, and instead put together like a hate piece about how millennials are just trash and they're living in vans eating avocado toast and ruining our economy or whatever. And I got so many death threats after I did that video. Well, I didn't do it. That's my point. They just took a bunch of stuff from my YouTube channel and cut it all up to make me look like an idiot. It's not even that hard because I'm not all that bright a lot of the time. And you know, it was like I did this piece for Fair Companies, where it was like a 45-minute long interview about figuring out how van life works. It was called #VanLifeNoFilter, and it was a cool, like I thought it was a great concept to be like, you know, it's not just beautiful shots on Instagram, and it's not just like what everyone thinks it is. There's a learning curve to it, right? And like we set out, my ex and I were like, oh, let's launch into van life, and we're like, we don't know how to do this. I don't know how to find these crazy campgrounds or campsites that people are at, these wild camping spots. And instead I'm at a Walmart parking lot because it was like the only thing I knew. And I did that like 3. All right, see what I mean? It's got the satellite dish got to adjust, and I lost you guys there for a hot second. But basically, they took all of that footage, Daily Mail took all that footage and put together a little like millennials are trash series on their media, and I got like loads of death threats. So I was, as you can understand, a little hesitant with traditional media. But then I did this work with CBC, a lot of bureaucracy. I had to sign a lot of papers and stuff to work with them. But yeah, it was cool because it was like they gave me a fair shake and they let me kind of tell my own story, which super rad. Yeah, I don't know. They just seemed really open to the idea of like, oh, you're a person like doing your own version of housing in an increasingly difficult housing world. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you standing like that for? Come here. What are you doing? Come here. You're being awkward. Not me. All right. I'm going to answer a few more of you guys' questions, and then I'm going to go and serve Honey her dinner because I think she's hungry. It's a gem. Okay. So Life is Like Sailing said he saw the CBC video even up in Northwest Territories, which is amazing. That blows my mind. I mean, I saw it I knew that it was going to be on like the Vancouver local CBC, but I didn't realize it was going to be all the way up there. And yeah, so and Werb says the same thing. It's like, so CTV is owned by Brill, which I've never heard of. I knew that Ottawa Sun was a post media company because they actually did the interview for Ottawa Citizen, which is also post media. And this story just got like hijacked by the Sun and put on front page on a Sunday edition, which was cool. It's cool to be on the newspaper, but yeah, I don't know. It was just like it didn't have the same gravity, I guess. But maybe I also didn't do anything nearly as cool as what I'm doing now, right? I was just living in a camper van. It wasn't very exciting. What is it? Hmm? You're being neurotic as usual. Okay. I think you were one. Oh, wow. Geez, Scott, just lay it on thick. You're gonna make me blush here. The compliments of coming in hard and heavy. Thank you so much, you guys. You guys have been absolutely lovely. Please, again, go check out that CBC video. I think it's quite good. I've heard some other people say it's not terrible. And that's it. That's all, honey. And